So in this triangle, okay, let me take, yep. In triangle ABC, let's say that AM is the median. Median means that is bisecting the opposite side into two equal halves. You see that the length of the triangle, the length of this side, is given as 6 units. 6 units. Therefore, if that is divided into two equal halves, so 6 is divided into two equal halves, we get each piece as 3 and 3. Okay, let's say that I'm taking another example. The same way BM is the median. Suppose let's say that this is given some 3.5 units. So this is the length of BM, and the question is what is the length of BC? You know, every time don't think that it is the whole length, divide by 2. So if you are thinking this one is 3.5 over 2, this is not the right thinking. So here length of BM, please notice that length of BM is half of the whole length. Whole length means all the way from B to C. So BM equals to half of BC. So half of, I don't know what is the length of BC, but I know the length of BM equals to 3.5. In order to find the value of BC, you multiply by 2 on both the sides. So the length of BC equals to 2 times 3.5. You can make use of calculator. It is 7 units. 7 units. This is the extra one. Let's take, yeah. So, okay. Well, another example. Now here we are going to take E is the centroid. Here it's given that E is the centroid. E is the centroid of the given figure. And let's say that AD is given as 36 centimeters. Then find AE, find length of AE and ED. So if this is the case, we know that, let me write it again. That is, we know that centroid divides the median in the ratio of 2:1. So here you have to remember especially the ratio part which is 2:1. Okay, this is the key point. Now then how to figure out the length of AE and ED? So A is the vertex and D is the midpoint. So from vertex always this is longer, don't forget, and towards the base that is the short one. Okay, so if I am taking length of AE, that is 2 out of 3 parts. Friends, please see that the total, if you are counting 2 parts, AE is 2 parts and ED is 1 part, so 2 and 1, that is 3 parts. So it is 2/3 of the whole length AD. Now just plug in the values. Two third of length of AD is given. You can see that length of AD is given. That value is to be plugged in here. Therefore, 36. Now two-third of 36, make use of calculator. You should get 24 centimeters. That's the length of AE. Next, on the other side, if you are taking length of ED, so you can see that ED is 1. It is 1 out of 3. As I told you before, the total is 1 and 2. So total 3 parts are there. So 1 out of 3 parts. So it is 1/3 of the total length AD. So 1/3 of what is AD means. Just now I told that length of AD is given as 36. Length of AD is given as 36. You have to plug in the value of AD here, then 1/3 of 36. That's the length of AD. Therefore, 1/3 of 36. Make use of calculator. You'll get that ED is 12 centimeters. Then coming to the next question, let me label it as some say K, maybe L, some letters I'm taking. Okay, and here in this question, P is the centroid. P is the centroid. Okay, and it's given that Kp equals to 10 units. Let's say that you are asked to find Sk, find the length of Sk, and also find the length of Ps. You are asked to find both Sk and Ps. Then how to figure out these two? We know that the centroid, centroid divides the median in the ratio of 2:1. Please do remember this ratio 2:1. Okay, now coming to the question, I see that Sk is the median. That is the whole length, right? So Sk is the median, and I don't know what is the total length of that. Okay, then length of Pk equals to, already we discussed earlier. Please remember, from the vertex to centroid, that is 2 parts, and from centroid to the base, that is 1 part. So it is 2:1. Okay, now Pk, if you look at Pk, that is one part. It is 1 part out of the total 3 parts. You can see that the total number of parts, there are 3. 1 and 2, that makes 3. So it is 1/3 of the total length of 1/3 of median. Okay, just wait for a second, please. So it is 1/3 the length of median. Therefore, 1/3 of I know that the median is Sk. Therefore, 1/3 of Sk. But I don't know what is the length of Sk. But I know the length of Pk or the Kp. That's given that Kp or Pk is given as 10 units. I'm just bringing the value of Pk here. Let me plug in the value here. It is 10. Okay, so now 10 equals to 1/3 of 1/3 of Sk. Now, to isolate Sk, you know that we have to eliminate this 1 over 3. That can be done by multiplying 3 on both the sides. So when I multiplied 3 times 10, that gives me 30, and here 3 and 1/3 gets cancelled. Then I got the length of Sk as 30 units. And also you are asked to find length of PS. So length of PS equals to, I see that length of PS, that is 2 units out of 3. So it is 2/3. There are 3 parts, and I see that PS is 2. So 2/3 of the length of the median SK. SK is the total length. So 2/3 of what is the length of SK means already we computed the length of SK in the previous calculation. That value is to be plugged in here. So 2/3 of 30, 2/3 of 30, make use of calculator. I think, yeah, you'll end up with 20 units. So length of PS equals to 20 units. That's it. Let me take another example. This diagram is not labeled. Let's say ABC is the given triangle. Maybe M is the midpoint of BC. Just I'm taking some number. Let's say that O is the centroid, and this is 8 units. Okay, so OM is given as 8 units. Let's say that the question is centroid. Centroid is O here, and the length of OM is equals to 8 units. Okay, then you are asked to find what is the length of AO. Friends, always stick to the ground rules or the basic rules. So we know that centroid divides median in the ratio of 2:1. Several times we discussed. So from the vertex to centroid, that is the longest one, that is 2 parts. And from centroid to the base, 1 part. That's the basic rule. Therefore, OM is given. So let me write about OM. Length of OM equals to, I see that it is 1 out of 3. Therefore, 1/3 of median. In this case, I see that median is AM. So AM. Now 1/3 of AM. I don't know what is the length of AM, but I know what is the length of OM. OM is given. So bring the value of this one here. Just plug in it here. OM equals to 8. So as we discussed earlier also, to eliminate this 1 over 3, take times 3 on both the sides. Then 3 times 8, that gives me 24. The length of AM equals to 24 units. But the question is not that. Find the length of AO. So length of AO, that is this part, length of AO, I see that is 2 parts out of 3, 2/3 of the median, AM. Okay, So two-third of the median AM just now I computed and I got it is 24 units. Now plug in the value of median here. So which is two-third of 24. Use calculator, two-third of 24. That gives you 16 units. So that's the length of 16. So while solving the problems, especially during testing, you have to be careful. You have to be careful what the question is it a part of the median, is it the upper part or the lower part or the entire length? That's what you have to be careful. But if you can stick to the ground rule, which is centroid divides the median in the ratio of 2:1. If you can stick to this one, yes, all the questions can be solved easily. Okay, that's it.